Hello there, Domainers. My name is Taylor.
And my name is Marcelo.
And welcome back to Game Domain. As long as this video is being released on time, then today is the 5th anniversary of Game Domain. And to celebrate that, we're making arguably our most ambitious video ever. A lot of you really seem to like our Super Mario characters good to evil video, so we decided to make this one, where we will do the same thing but only for Paper Mario. We're only going to be referencing events in the 6 Paper Mario games for this, so anything a character does outside of the series does not affect them in this video. Also, expect spoilers. For Origami King characters, we'll give a warning. Lastly, I'm going to narrate the first half of this video, and Marcelo is going to narrate the second half. The script is 33 pages and over 9,000 words, so yeah. Anyway, let's get into the video. Starting off with the gold medal of goodness, we have Tippy. Tippy is a character with a ton of backstory. If you want to know more, you should check out our 30+ minute video on Super Paper Mario lore. She first encounters Mario after he was lying unconscious in Bowser's castle. She brings you to Flipside, and from there she becomes your companion throughout the game. But this isn't why she gets the gold medal on this list. You find out how she was once in love with Blumiere, who you know better as Count Bleck. Tippy herself used to be a human named Timpani. Blumiere was a member of the Tribe of Darkness, and they strictly forbid relationships with humans outside of the tribe. Upon discovering Timpani and Blumiere's forbidden love, Blumiere's father placed a curse on Timpani which wiped her memories and forced her to wander alone between dimensions until she was found by Merlin and brought to the flip side. To save what little life force she had left, Merlin turned her into the pixel Tippy. Even after all of this, Tippy still bravely assists you in saving the universe, and on the way slowly begins to remember her traumatic past. She's heartbroken to learn that the one she loves, Blumiere, has gone mad after realizing he will never be with her again. Yet at the end of the game, she learns that the only way to stop the power of the Chaos Heart from destroying all dimensions is to marry the one she loves. Her wedding with Count Bleck counters the Chaos Heart and helps the protagonist defeat Dementio once and for all. Without Tippy's actions, Mario would have no chance of saving the universe. Even after all the hardship and loss that Tippy went through, she's still willing to do everything she can to save everybody. After the wedding, Bleck and Tippy disappear, and it is left to the player to decide if the process of destroying the Chaos Heart killed them both, or if they finally found peace in a dimension where they could be together at last. For the silver medal of goodness, we have Olivia. There will be some spoilers in this section, so skip to the timestamp if you want to avoid them. Olivia is the sister to King Ollie, the main antagonist of the Origami King. Olivia dedicates herself to saving the world, even if that means she has to take down her own brother. Olivia is your companion throughout the Origami King, working with you to go against the actions of her own sibling. Her selflessness shines when Olivia tragically defeats Ollie, her own flesh and blood, for the greater good of the world. Having to go through such a hardship is tragic enough. However, Olivia also gives up her own life for the greater good of the world above all else. Olivia's truly kind soul and profound selflessness earns her the second spot on our list. The bronze medal of goodness belongs to no other than Bobby the Bob-omb. Expect spoilers to the Origami King for this one. Bobby lost his memory after him and his Bob-omb friends were attacked by an origami goober blooper. Bobby was incredibly lucky in only losing his fuse and his memory, while most of his friends had lost their lives. Having no clear direction in life, Bobby joins Mario and Olivia's team. After traveling with the friendly Bob-omb on your quest, Olivia gets trapped in a giant boulder. In an act of true selflessness, Bobby tragically sacrifices himself to save Olivia from the boulder and clear the path. Bobby's sacrifice is one of the most heart-wrenching moments in a Paper Mario game, and it will stick in your head for weeks. If you've not already, we highly suggest you watch the clip online or play through it yourself. Barely falling short of the Medal of Goodness is the quote-unquote NIMBY, known as Lovebee. While Lovebee is admittedly not the kindest to the Mario Brothers at first, the purity of her heart is slowly revealed, both literally and figuratively. By the end of Super Paper Mario's Chapter 7-4, a fallen Nimby, representative of Lucifer, reveals Lovebee is actually a pure heart in the form of Nimby. In a depressingly memorable moment, Lovebee acknowledges the truth of her existence by speaking with her mother and father. Realizing what she must do to save all worlds, Lovebee leaves her mother and father by giving way to the pure heart. Her sacrifice is a shining example of her selflessness, revealing that her defining characteristic is her glowing heart. Being a pure heart, which is a vessel of love, it is clear why Lovebee is so high on our list. Following up the pure-hearted Nimby is Merlin, a descendant of the Tribe of Ancients. The wizard shines primarily in Super Paper Mario as a mentor to Mario and friends. Merlin holds the Light Prognosticus, a book of optimistic properties. After encountering a fallen girl, he selflessly gives up his love life and devotes his life to saving the girl. In order to save her, Merlin transfers the girl's soul into a pixel, who becomes known as Tippy. Studying the Light Prognosticus, Merlin involves himself with pure hearts and heart pillars necessary to counter the Dark Prognosticus. After encountering the hero Mario, Merlin becomes his mentor, teaching Mario how to proceed in collecting the pure hearts. The wizard's obsession with pure hearts shows where his heart really is, since the shining pure hearts are used to save the universe from the evil Chaos Heart. Next, we have our first entry from the series' debut, and that's the unfortunately named Twink from Paper Mario for the N64. A brave star kid who was originally written to be a partner for Mario, Twink spends the bulk of the game helping a kidnapped Princess Peach sneak around the castle she's imprisoned in, gathering important information to help Mario take down Bowser. Since he's a young star, he doesn't have the power to grant huge wishes like the Star Spirits do, but he helps however he can, traveling tirelessly back and forth between Peach's castle and wherever Mario is currently adventuring to provide him with key intel. While Mario and his partners take on Bowser in the final battle, Twink bravely goes up against Bowser's second-in-command, Kammy Koopa, risking his life to help restore peace to the world. After the game's climax, Twink returns to Star Haven to spend his life helping make people's wishes come true. Next up is Princess Peach. Peach consistently puts the needs of other characters in Paper Mario franchises before her own, and even though she is almost always kidnapped or in some form of grave danger, she keeps her composure and finds ways to help take on the villains. In the first Paper Mario, Peach spends the whole game putting herself in danger by sneaking around the castle, gathering information to help Mario defeat Bowser. In the battle between Twink and Kammy Koopa at the end, her wishes gives Twink extra power, helping him triumph in this fight. In the Thousand-Year Door, she has a similar role, in that she again is kidnapped, this time by the mysterious X-Nauts, and spends much of the game sneaking around the X-Naut base to learn about the antagonist's goals. In the end, however, being possessed by the Shadow Queen, she breaks free from the trance and makes the choice to give all the strength she has left to Mario to help save the world from destruction. In Super Paper Mario, she takes on a more active role, since she's one of the 4 playable characters. Throughout the game, she demonstrates how pure-hearted and strong-willed she is. She resisted Nastasia's brainwashing longer than anyone else in the game, and never fully fell under her control. When interacting with various other characters and NPCs in the game, Peach always treats them with kindness. Her selflessness is highlighted most dramatically in Chapter 8 of Super Paper Mario. When traveling through Castle Bleck with Mario and Luigi, the group's path is blocked by Mimi, one of Bleck's minions. Peach stays behind to fend her off so the others can go forward to save the universe. After their battle, the castle tremors and the floor falls out from underneath Mimi. Rather than letting her fall to her death, Peach leaps to her aid, grabbing her just as she starts to fall. In the later games, her selflessness remains intact despite their less story-focused nature. The 7 Star Spirits from the first Paper Mario game are the leader of the Star species. They work together using the Star Rod to grant people's wishes, but only if the wishes are pure of heart and uncorrupt. Bowser successfully steals the Star Rod and wishes for the Star Spirits to turn into playing cards, which are then scattered across the world to dilute their collective power. Despite their imprisonment and isolation, the Star Spirits still manage to summon enough power to project their spirits across the world to awaken Mario after his loss to a now invincible Bowser, thus beginning the game's adventure. As Mario frees them one by one, the Star Spirits each offer their own unique power to Mario to help him in his quest to restore peace to the world. Luigi, the less famous Mario brother, finds himself just above Mario on our list. Both Mario and Luigi consistently demonstrate selflessness, bravery, and willingness to risk their own lives to protect others throughout the Paper Mario series. The main factors which separate Luigi from Mario are the fact that Luigi receives far less attention and acclaim for his actions, and unlike Mario, he actually has dialogue throughout the series. From the first game in the series, it's clear that Luigi wishes he was joining Mario on his adventures and feels left out. When he does join Mario's party for Super Paper Mario, albeit fairly late in the game, he proves himself to be a brave and altruistic companion, despite him being known to scare easily. He's an underappreciated part of Mario's team, and can hang with almost any of the other characters here when it comes to goodness. Much of what was said about Luigi can be said about his brother Mario. An interesting aspect of the Paper Mario series is that despite Mario being the titular character of the dialogue-heavy franchise, Mario himself does not speak. Rather, his partners, companions, and enemies do most of the talking. And yet, through his actions alone, Mario easily deserves a spot very high on our list. He never backs down in the face of danger if the cause he's fighting for is pure. He works consistently to protect innocent people from the various enemies he faces. He also has a pattern of befriending many characters who are lost, outcast within their communities, or otherwise need companionship, another trait which helps him place pretty high on our list. Now, with our first partner to be included on this list, we have Vivian from the Thousand-Year Door. If you've played throughout the game, you probably won't be surprised with Vivian being so high on this list scale, as she's definitely a fan favorite due to her excellent character development and usefulness in battle. But we're focusing on good and evil today, so let's look at her character more closely. When Mario first encounters Vivian, she's working with her sisters, the villainous Shadow Sirens, who are helping the X-Nauts gather the crystal stars. Vivian is constantly bullied and put down by her sisters, and eventually she decides to leave them behind to adventure with Mario and help him save the world from the X-Nauts' plans. she's an incredibly pure-hearted character, despite the constant ridicule she faces from her own family. And over the course of the game, she grows significantly, learning to love herself and enjoy her life now that she's journeying with someone who treats her well. Overall, she's just a truly good character with an excellent arc. Color Splash's lead paint bucket, Huey, proves to be one of Paper Mario's most pure-hearted characters. After aiding Mario in defeating Bowser, the King Koopa's castle begins to collapse, threatening to spread evil black paint everywhere. Realizing his purpose, Huey stays behind to stop the black paint from landing. Huey has to lie to the Mario brothers and Peach, saying he'll be right behind them. However, the truth is, after squeezing all of the paint out of the castle and into himself, he sacrifices the rest of his life to traveling far away from his friends at Port Prisma. Huey seeks to find a new, isolated land, far from Mario and company, where he can safely dispose of the evil black paint. While Mario's friend does not directly lose his life by death, he sacrifices his remaining years, devoting them to traveling far away for the sake of peace. Kirsty, much like Huey, sacrifices herself at the end of her game. The crown-shaped sticker allows Mario to use her powers as a sticker to defeat Bowser, as she derives from the same sticker star as Bowser's crown. In other words, the only way to defeat Bowser is for Kirsty to sacrifice herself. Because of this, Kirsty's sacrifice, while still selfless and noble, is not as honorable as the other ones. Her sacrifice is more of an obligation than a choice, since using her powers is the only way to defeat Bowser. Although this has no impact on our ranking of the character, it's worth mentioning that Kirsty comes back to life in a cutscene after the final boss. Another beloved Thousand-Year Door partner with a heart of gold is Admiral Bobbery. Bobbery has quite a lot of character development and backstory, especially if you take the time to talk to Podley, the bartender, about him. Spoiler alerts for a 16-year-old game here. Mario needs Bobbery to help navigate him across the ocean to find one of the crystal stars. When he first encounters him, however, Bobbery bluntly refuses to help Mario, saying he will never journey to the sea again. After talking with Podley, it's revealed that Bobbery was once married to a woman named Scarlet, with whom he was madly in love. While on one of his ocean adventures, she died of an unknown illness, and Bobbery blamed himself for her death, believing that if he had been with her, he could have saved her. As such, he vows never to journey out to sea again. However, after reading an old letter from his late wife, which Mario delivers to him, he is reminded that her death was not his fault, and that he should honor her life and himself by pursuing the things in life which bring him joy. He finally agrees to help guide Mario on his quest, eventually joining his party permanently to help him defeat the Shadow Queen and save the world. Next, we've got one of Mario's partners from Paper Mario 64, Bombette. Bombette is imprisoned in the dungeons of the Koopa Bros fortress until she breaks out with Mario's help. She's quickly drawn to Mario for his bravery and willingness to help her and the other imprisoned Bob-ombs, and it's quite clear that justice is quite important to her. She makes her appreciation of Mario's actions clear, and her personality is highly likable, as she comes across as the kind of character who will always stick up for those in need. She's a fair-minded, albeit fiery character, who gladly joins Mario on his quest to save the world from Bowser, and that earns her a place among the best of Mario's partners. Following up Bombette is Squirp Korogaline Squirpina, also known as Squirps. On top of assisting you in attacking enemies in the first few levels of Chapter 4 of Super Paper Mario, Squirps also helps you defeat the infamous Mr. L. After being a loyal companion throughout the entirety of Chapter 4, it is discovered at the end of 4-4 that Squirps has been waiting for you for 1500 years. It's revealed that Squirps is actually the Prince of Squirpia and was assigned by his mother to guide the player to the Pure Hearts. 1500 years ago, he was placed in a shuttle and had been waiting for the heroes ever since. His patience, good intentions of aiding the heroes in finding a pure heart, and companionship solidify Squirps as a truly good character in the Paper Mario series. Up next, we've got Lackey Lester, another partner from Paper Mario 64. While at first he seems more focused on appearing tough than on the greater good, Lackey Lester does grow in the short amount of time you spend with him in this game. He was originally one of Bowser's henchmen, but it's clear he has no personal contempt for Mario. After hearing what Mario is fighting for, he decides it's a more worthy cause than being a soldier in Bowser's army. He joins Mario to help save the world from Bowser and to make a better life for himself and his fellow Lakitus, which is certainly a noble act. Since he joins Mario's party so late in the game, there's less time to get to know his character. Despite this, Lackey Lester proves to be a noble partner who learns to forge his own path and helps to save the world. Another Paper Mario partner with good character progression is Lady Bo, heiress of the Boo Mansion. She may live a pampered lifestyle, but when her fellow Boos are being terrorized by Tubba Blubba, she readily teams up with Mario to help put a stop to the violence, despite her butler's concerns for her safety. After they succeed in their battle to protect the Boos, Lady Bo decides to stick with Mario and help him take on Bowser. In the short time between Mario meeting her and her deciding to join his party permanently, Lady Bo shows a lot of growth and a lot of bravery. Koops, the direct successor to Kooper from the first Paper Mario, is opposite to Kooper's personality. Where Cooper is brave and adventurous, Koops is timid and seemingly cowardly. Yet, when he hears that Mario is going to face Hooktail, the dragon he believes to have killed his missing father, he quickly changes tone and boldly decides to accompany Mario, both so he can exact revenge and so he can protect his own town from Hooktail. In a short amount of time, Koops grows a lot of character, and despite him believing his father to have been killed by Hooktail, he is still willing to face the dragon head-on to avenge his father and prevent further violence and destruction in his hometown. He's a kind, loyal, and ultimately brave partner, which places him fairly high on this list. Next is the very first partner to ever join Mario on a Paper Mario adventure, Goombario. The aptly named Goombario is a young Goomba who has spent his childhood idolizing Mario, dreaming of going on grand quests and saving the world. Since Mario consistently dedicates himself to protecting innocent lives and fighting evil in the Paper Mario series, it makes sense that a kid who does everything he can to be just like him would rank among the best Paper Mario partners. He's got a lot of spirit and is immediately ready to help Mario save the world after meeting him in the prologue of the game. Goombario has the most character development by far, not just because he's the first to join Mario's party, but because his tattle ability, both in and out of battle, showcase his personality and give insight into his background. Next up is Mario's first companion in the Thousand-Year Door, Goombella. From the start of the game, Goombella is shown to be a fiercely intelligent and dedicated, hard-working student who's not afraid to advocate for herself and tell off the baddies within Rogueport. Over the course of the game, her personality steadily becomes warmer, and she shows herself to be not only very smart, but also a loyal, devoted friend to Mario and the rest of the party. She's a critical component of Mario's team, and is crucial in helping Mario gather and make sense of important clues which guide them on their quest. Overall, she's truly a good character with a lot of personality. Being the second partner to join Mario in the first Paper Mario game, Cooper spends a lot of time on screen. He's immediately likable, and he's a very friendly character, who is grateful for Mario's help in ridding Koopa Village of the Fuzzies, who were stealing the Koopa's shells. After joining his party, Cooper helps Mario take on the Koopa Bros to save the imprisoned Bob-ombs, including Bobette, who we discussed earlier. There's not too much character development with Cooper, but he shows himself to be a brave, helpful companion on Mario's first adventure in the series. Another Koopa companion from the first Paper Mario game, Parakarry, is a Paratroopa mailman who has a knack for losing his letters. When Mario first encounters him, he helps him find all the letters he's dropped around Mount Rugged. While Parakarry is clearly quite clumsy, it's hard not to love his personality. While he's clearly not the best postman out there, he's fiercely dedicated to his work and takes great pride in every successful delivery he makes throughout the game. To repay Mario for helping him collect his lost letters, he joins his party and spends the remainder of the game helping Mario fight Bowser's minions while still carrying out his duties as a mailman. Next, we have Sushi, the Cheep Cheep Mario meets in Yoshi Village on Lava Lava Island in the first Paper Mario game. While she can be a little intense with some of her dialogue, she's a well-intentioned character who helps take care of the young Yoshis in Yoshi Village, and is overcome with fear when they run into the dangerous jungle. She works with Mario to help find them and return them to safety, and ultimately joins his party so she can help make the world a safer place. Next is Mini Yoshi, or Yoshi Kid, from the Thousand-Year Door, another fan-favorite partner due to his feisty personality, comedic dialogue, and the ability to customize his color and name. Mini Yoshi is a tough young Yoshi who enthusiastically joins Mario in his quest to gather the crystal stars before the X-Nauts can. He's a loyal partner and has a very likable personality, but there's not a ton that stands out specifically related to how good he is, other than his willingness to help Mario save the world. That being said, he's still a great character who's a key member of Mario's team. Following Mini Yoshi is Merlovely, the fortune teller descended from members of the Tribe of Ancients, who plays an important role in the first 3 Paper Mario games. While she is somewhat self-serving at times, many of these comments come across as playful, and she's an integral source of knowledge in the first 3 titles. She helps guide Mario and his team throughout these games, helping them find star pieces, badges, shine sprites, and the proper path forward on their journey. Her help goes a long way in helping Mario save the world in all 3 of these games. Another descendant of the Tribe of Ancients is Merly, the rhyming spellcaster who helps Mario and his team on their journeys in the first 3 games. In Super Paper Mario, she plays a lead role in Chapter 2 where she helps Mario take back her mansion from Mimi's control. She uses her magic to help break Mimi's shield, allowing Mario and Peach to defeat her. She has a lifelong rivalry with Merlovely, but this doesn't keep her from being a consistently helpful and benevolent sorceress who plays an important role in the first 3 titles. The final Paper Mario 64 partner to be featured on this list is Watt, the adorable little Sparky Mario rescued from the Big Lantern Ghost. Watt has been imprisoned by this evil character inside a lantern, and despite his cruel treatment, she still doesn't hesitate to join Mario's cause as soon as she's released. Her personality isn't focused on as strongly as some of the other partners in this game, but she's still a pretty enjoyable character. Plus, she can be particularly helpful in the battle against enemies with strong defense. which from the player's perspective makes her all the more likable. One of the Origami King's most interesting Toad characters is none other than Professor Toad. Professor Toad, while only allying with Mario and Olivia upon realizing the desert is too dangerous to track on his own, becomes enthusiastic to help Mario and company on their quest. The character can easily be seen as good in that he allies with Mario and Olivia, the Origami King's two main heroes. However, he cannot be ranked as any more good on our list, seeing as the professor shows no profound, brave acts of heroism. All in all, he is a fairly mediocre ally to Mario and Olivia, who shows no extreme heroism. One of the more divisive partners from the Thousand Year Door is Madame Flurry. Many fans dislike her personality and her battle abilities, and many others will defend her actions and usefulness in battle. Since we're focused on good and evil today, let's take a closer look at her personality character development. Flurry doesn't receive quite as much attention or development as some of the other partners in this game, and she doesn't have as much backstory to discover. So her overall motivations are less fleshed out than, say, Bobbery's or Vivian's. That being said, she's still willing to join Mario's dangerous, virtuous quest, meaning she's at least quite brave. She earns a spot in the good section of our character list, if not landing quite as high as some Thousand Year Door partners. Following Madame Flurry is our final Thousand Year Door partner, Mrs. Mose. Mrs. Mose is a good character, and she has some great dialogue. However, it'd be unfair to put her any higher on this list, both because she's an optional partner, meaning her character has less time to develop within the story, and she also has mischievous tendencies, even being willing to steal badges and resell them in her shop. She's far from evil, and if the player chooses to recruit her, she's willing to help Mario on his journey to save the world from eternal darkness. But she's not so virtuous that she deserves to be placed any higher on this list.
Hey everyone, Marcelo here again, and we are about halfway done with this video. We've covered the good characters, so now let's get to the gray area characters. We will start with characters that lean towards being good, and slowly start to get to characters that lean towards being bad. Starting off, a robot created to protect a pure heart from unworthy intruders, known as Fractale, is not implicitly super good or super evil. Fractale is simply a robot designed with code, therefore lacking a true conscience. That being said, if questioned whether the robot was coded to be quote-unquote good or bad, it is obvious that it is a heroic machine at its core. Despite his corruption caused by Dementio's spell, Fractale is naturally a being of greatness, seeing as it waits 1500 years protecting the sacred pure heart from lawless intruders. Although not being able to feel boredom, its patience is definitely appreciated. Fractale is also genuinely apologetic to Mario upon being freed from Dementio's control, as he never truly wanted to attack him. Overall, Fractale was designed with the intention of protecting the pure heart in wait of a worthy hero, which is quite the opposite of an evil ideology. There are going to be a few Toads on this list, seeing as the recent 3 entries have been centered around them. These Toads will be covered very briefly because, well, they're as flat as paper. Our first Toad from Color Splash is Justice Toad, one of the game's 3 chosen Toads. Of the 3 chosen Toads, this one is noticeably the kindest, but really does not have much to him other than his godlike powers. Next is Flint Cragley, the TV star and explorer from Super Paper Mario. Flint is not evil by any means, but he is definitely focused on himself and his fame over anything else. He seems annoyed by his crew's disappearance rather than concerned for their safety. He presents himself as brave and heroic, but the moment there is true danger, he either flees entirely, or at least makes his crew or Mario's team go ahead of him so he's less at risk. He never does anything overtly evil. He's just an overall selfish character without an actions of altruism demonstrated in the game. There is really nothing to be said about the Mountain Sage Toad that hasn't already been said about the Justice Toad. They are both one of the 3 chosen Toads, meaning they both have absurd powers, with the Mountain Sage being yellow and slightly less friendly than the Justice Toad. Next is Birdo, who is featured in Sticker Star, Color Splash, and Origami King, as well as Super Mario RPG. Admittedly, she doesn't have much dialogue or many interactions to judge her character from, which is part of why she's placed in our gray area category. It's worth mentioning that she is a boss enemy in Super Mario RPG, but since this video is focused just on the Paper Mario series, we didn't factor that into her placement. She helps Mario in Sticker Star by providing him with the goat statue, but other than this, there's just not very many interactions to judge how good or bad she is. It's hard not to feel bad for Sticker Star's traveling Toad. The Red Toad loves to travel. However, he is constantly ambushed by enemies who interrupt his travels. We want to see this Toad travel the world, and feel greatly bad for him. However, he really does not show any acts of goodness. He has no good or bad acts, he just likes to travel. His neutral character sets him at this spot on our list. Being very similar to the other two toads from Color Splash is Surfing Kinopio, one of the 3 chosen toads. The only reason this blue toad is ranked lower than the other 2 is because of his less friendly attitude in comparison. The friendly Patooey Piper is not exactly seen as good or evil. He does not attempt to harass Mario and friends like most Patooey, which is definitely a step up, but he's not necessarily heroic or good. As most characters near this spot, Piper is a neutral character, with no distinct signs of righteousness or wrongdoing. Sling-a-Thing Toad's job is to, well, sling a thing. More specifically, the Toad will transform things into stickers for you. Offering this service for free would make one think he is a good character. However, this minor act of goodness is counteracted by an act of wrongdoing. If Mario is out of things, the Purple Toad will suggest you speak with Shady Toad, meaning he's in cahoots with, potentially, an illegal dealer. Shady Toad is, as the name implies, one of Paper Mario's sketchiest toads. The Sticker Star character will sell you things the player has already collected in his secluded shop. It is never directly stated, however. It is implied through dialogue that his business is illegal. An example line from him is, "I got the goods. Take your pick." Next in our gray area category is Shet Rippo from Paper Mario 64. It was hard not to put this character into the evil category, simply because of an encounter I had with him in my first playthrough of the game before I knew what agreeing to his offer meant. For those who haven't played the first game, Shet Rippo shows up a few times in Toad Town and offers you a special deal on his upgrade package. He says he'll upgrade one of your stats, health points, flower points, or badge points, for just 39 coins, 10% of the supposedly usual 390 coin price. However, Shet is a con artist, and what he doesn't tell you is that while he will indeed upgrade one of your stats, the other 2 stats will then drop down. This can be a pain if you've worked hard to upgrade your stats in a certain way to accommodate your playstyle. Had I not fallen for his deal and been so disappointed by the results on my first playthrough, this character, who is relatively minor compared to the others on this list, likely wouldn't appear in this video. He reappears in the 1000-Year Door, operating in basically the same way, but this time he also offers to readjust the ranks of your partners. While he is a con man, players can use him to their advantage to quickly boost one of their stats. And since this is a welcome option for some strategies, I couldn't quite justify listing him as an evil character despite his dishonesty. Bowser Jr. makes his main appearance in the Origami King, where, unlike in Sticker Star, he is now an ally to Mario. Expect spoilers from the Origami King for these next 2 entries, by the way. Bowser Jr.'s evil doing from Sticker Star is more than made up for in Origami King, where he aids Mario and Olivia in their journey, so much as to get trampled on for them. While being attacked by a horde of Paper Macho Goombas, Bowser Jr. stomps on a loose rock to create a ditch for the Goombas, that of which they trample him in. Between this act of heroism and his overall conversion to good in the Origami King, Bowser Jr.'s acts of evil from Sticker Star become somewhat neutralized, placing him at a more neutral spot on our list. Kamek's redemption story is extremely similar to Bowser Jr.'s. Both characters were evil in Sticker Star. However, they joined Mario's team in the Origami King. In the same instance Bowser Jr. gets trampled in, Kamek attempts to hold off the horde, causing the Magic Koopa to be trampled as well. The only reason Kamek is ranked as more evil than Bowser Jr. is because Kamek appears as a villain in both Color Splash and Sticker Star. This character was particularly tough to place on our list. Bowser finds himself in our evil category, though admittedly close to the gray area characters. Bowser's role in the Paper Mario series has changed drastically from game to game, and his character is explored in greater depth in this series than in any of the mainline Mario titles. In the first Paper Mario, he's the primary antagonist, stealing the Star Rod from Starhaven so that he can become invincible and make all of Nefarious' wishes come true. In the 1000-Year Door, his role is smaller. He's a secondary villain, and when positioned in the same game as Sir Grotus and the Shadow Queen, is comparatively non-threatening. In Super Paper Mario, his role shifts fully onto the side of the protagonists. He becomes one of the 4 playable heroes, albeit reluctantly, when he realizes that Count Bleck poses a threat to the existence of all worlds, which is a goal far more evil than anything Bowser pursued in this series. While his main goal in saving the world from destruction is securing his opportunity to then rule the world at some point, he still plays a key role in saving the threatened dimensions. In the final chapter of the game, Bowser commits the closest thing to an act of selflessness he ever has, when he stays behind in Castle Bleck to help hold up the collapsing ceiling so the rest of the team can go forward and stop Count Bleck. While part of this was to show his strength, it's still an incredibly brave and selfless choice, especially because it seems inevitable that he will die when he eventually caves under the ceiling's weight. This willingness to sacrifice himself was almost enough to keep him out of the evil category. However, somewhat disappointingly, he returns to villainy in the next 2 games. In Sticker Star, he steals a royal sticker, which allows him to gain incredible power while also making him a seemingly mindless villain. In Color Splash, under the influence of the black paint which corrupts his already evil-prone mind, he seeks to paint the entire world black, and is willing to kill anyone standing in his way. Granted, in both of these titles, he's at least partially under the influence of some kind of magical evil force, and in Origami King, he returns to his role as a reluctant protagonist, helping Mario in rescuing his minions when they face the greater mutual threat of King Ollie and his origami army. Still, with only one major act of selflessness and sacrifice compared to his many acts of evil, Bowser barely misses out on being grouped in with the gray area characters and finds himself within the evil category. Dragodon is one of Color Splash's flattest villains, both literally and figuratively. Originally, Dragodon will try to attack you and Huey with his fire breath. Dragodon seems ruthless at first, however, he cools down after you hit him over the head and bribe him with magma burgers. You will then be able to ride the dragon throughout the lava of Red Paper Volcano. Dragodon hardly ever speaks, making it difficult to tell how evil or good he is. His original attack is enough to consider him evil, however, how easy it is to bribe him shows his evil intentions can't be that strong. Former General Ochunks was persuaded to join Count Bleck's team after he lost his entire army. While he was taken advantage of when he was at his lowest, it does not excuse his repeated acts of wrongdoing. To start, the warrior assists Count Bleck in his goal to destroy the entire universe, by attempting to stop Mario and the gang from collecting the pure hearts necessary to counteract the Chaos Heart. Although he is oftentimes assisted by Dimentio, Ochunks clearly tries to stop the heroes from his own influence. However, his origins in the Count's crew and his emotions make him the most good of all of Blumiere's minions. After defeating Ochunks in Chapter 8-1, the castle will begin to shake, leading to the collapse of the ceiling. Realizing the heroes will perish if he does not do anything, Ochunks experiences a turning point and uses his strength to hold the ceiling up. The former villain then prompts the heroes to escape, fully expecting to sacrifice himself in the process. While Bleck's minion has committed some definite evil acts, his origins with Blumiere and his emotional redemption prevent him from being ranked any higher on our list. Next is Natasha, Count Bleck's sidekick and the leader of his army. Throughout Super Paper Mario, Natasha uses torture and her powers of hypnosis to brainwash characters, including almost all of Bowser's army, into joining Bleck's quest to destroy all dimensions. She punishes anyone who falls out of line, and is shown to be a ruthless leader. She even successfully brainwashes Luigi and uses him as an assassin to try and kill Mario and his team. The only character she tries to brainwash who resists is Peach, who stays free from her influence longer than anyone, and never completely falls under her control. She devotes herself entirely to Count Bleck, never wavering in her loyalty to him and his mission. It becomes clear throughout the game that she is in love with him, but knows that he will never feel the same way due to his love for Timpani. It's hard not to feel empathetic for her, seeing her give her entire life for a love that will always be unrequited. She even throws herself in front of Count Bleck to protect him from Dimentio's attack during the final boss fight, proving how devoted she is to him. Despite this, her many sinister actions still earn her a place solidly on the evil side of our list. Following Natasha is the monocle-wearing, dimension-destroying man himself, Count Bleck. The only living member of the Tribe of Darkness, Count Bleck, formerly named Blumiere, was corrupted and driven to evil after losing the love of his life, Timpani. We already discussed their backstory at the start of this video, so we won't get into great detail here. But upon learning that his father cursed Timpani to wander between dimensions until her death, Blumiere used the power of the Dark Prognosticus to kill his father and his entire tribe. After spending years searching dimensions for Timpani to no avail, he finally sets out to destroy all dimensions, and himself with them. Count Bleck shows no regard for innocent life throughout Super Paper Mario, proving himself to be a ruthless and formidable villain. He orders the torture and brainwashing of hundreds to serve as his minions, and costs a great many characters their lives. However, spoiler alert for Super Paper Mario here, when he finally is reunited with Timpani in the game's final chapter, he does have a change of heart, now having a reason to live and to feel hope once more. He allies with Mario to destroy the Chaos Heart, and save all dimensions from the destruction he threatened them with, which is why he's a few entries shy of our top 3 most evil Paper Mario characters. The creepy, anime-obsessed lizard Francis is one of the few Paper Mario villains with no redeeming qualities. Francis captures Tippy in hopes of admiring her, and only lets, quote, super hot babes in the same room as him. He has no positive actions to balance out the negative, making him an extremely evil character. That being said, while kidnapping is an incredibly vile act, it is not on the same level as destroying the universe or conquering the world like some other villains attempt to do. Ultimately, Francis is a creepy character with no redeeming qualities. However, it is not as evil as some of the other characters on our list. Higher on the evil spectrum than Bowser himself are his minions, the Koopalings. Unlike the King, the Koopalings have no redeeming actions. The Koopalings persist in aiding Bowser, essentially replicating Bowser's actions. In Color Splash, you have to defeat all 7 of these guys, and never once do they show any sign of goodness. Overall, the Koopalings are replicas of Bowser, without the redeeming acts of goodness such as helping Mario in Super Paper Mario and the Origami King. Close to the top of our list of evil characters is Kammy Koopa, Bowser's second in command. In the first Paper Mario game, it's clear that Kammy Koopa is the brain behind Bowser's operation. In the Paper Mario series, Bowser may concoct some evil plots, but he's also shown to be quite childish and dim-witted. Kammy Koopa assists Bowser by helping him to make his evil dreams become a reality. In both of the first 2 games, she helps command Bowser's army, provides Bowser with information she gathers about Mario's progress, and works tirelessly to keep Mario from foiling their evil plans. She plays a key role in the climaxes of both games. In Paper Mario 64, she fights against Twink, as we explained earlier. She helps Bowser fight Mario and his team when they encounter him at the Palace of Shadow. Overall, she's an evil force who uses her intelligence and magical ability to help Bowser's evil plans unfold. Another evil sidekick in the Paper Mario series is Lord Crump, second in command of the X-Nauts. Throughout the Thousand-Year Door, Crump and his X-Naut soldiers continuously fight to make Mario's journey as difficult as possible. They lay traps for him to fall into, try to steal the crystal stars before Mario can reach them, and attack Mario and his team directly on a few occasions. He's certainly on the evil side of the spectrum here, but perhaps more than purely malevolent, Crump appears to be pretty dull. Despite that, his actions continuously serve to harm Mario and delay his quest, earning him and his X-Naut crew a spot amongst the more evil Mario characters. Next on our list is King Ollie. Expect major spoilers for the Origami King. King Ollie is a villain driven by vengeance and hatred. Ollie was originally formed by the Origami Craftsman Toad, and now seeks vengeance against all Toads, wishing to fold every last one of them. Throughout nearly the entire game, he is driven by hatred, proving what truly drives him. Ollie is so driven by hate and vengeance that he even attempts to murder his own sister, Olivia, as well as our hero Mario. Having enough hate in his heart to attempt ending his own sister just shows how corrupt and evil Ollie is. The only reason he is not ranked higher is because of his brief redemption at the very end of the Origami King. In a short moment of redemption, Ollie allows Olivia to fold him in order to activate the 1000 Swan Fold. His dying wish is for Olivia to undo the mess he had created. To elaborate, Ollie knew he would have died here either way, meaning it is not a sacrifice, rather a dying wish. In one sentence, Ollie is a villain driven by hatred, who is not ranked any higher only due to his dying wish. As a theorized representation of Lucifer, it goes without saying why Boneshill is ranked so highly on the evil side of the spectrum. Boneshill was a fallen NIMBY who leads the underwear attackers in destroying the overwear. This is meant to be the equivalent of Lucifer attacking heaven, which should make Boneshill the most evil character of them all. However, in Super Paper Mario, the underwear and the over there are both worlds that are consumed by the void, rendering Boneshill's attacks relatively useless. His intentions rank him high up on this list. However, the intention of Count Bleck and his minions to destroy not only the over there, but all worlds is far more evil. The only reason Boneshill is ranked as more evil than Count Bleck and a few of his minions is because, unlike many of them, Boneshill has no redemption story. Just shy of earning a medal for his villainy is Sir Grotus, the leader of the X-Nauts in the Thousand-Year Door. Grotus is completely devoted to world domination, and he is shown to be a ruthless, cruel, and cold villain who will go to great lengths to satisfy his desire for total control over the world. He uses violence, intimidation, and manipulative tactics to gain control over his victims, all under the guise of wanting to remake the world in his perfect image. He's a selfish character as well, seeming to care for no one but himself. He is frequently self-aggrandizing, believing himself to be much more powerful than he truly is. His motivations are corrupt, and his actions throughout the game, starting with kidnapping Princess Peach and culminating in him using Peach's body as a vessel for the evil Shadow Queen, are consistently villainous. The Bronze Medal of Evilness belongs to none other than the shape-shifting Spider-Woman Mimi. Between managing a mansion of slaves and assisting Count Bleck in destroying the entire universe, Mimi is truly an evil soul. Her character shines in Chapter 2, where she captures Merly and takes over her mansion. Not only does Mimi fill the mansion with deadly traps, she also sets up a system of grueling labor for her prisoners. After Mario falls for a trap she sets by breaking a vase, he is forced to achieve the seemingly impossible goal of paying off the vase with 1 million rubies. With this task in mind, Mario will enter a room used for collecting rubies. The room has a painfully slow collection method, complete with a set of prisoners working themselves. While the cruel initial method is meant to be exploited, Mimi has every intention of forcing the heroes to work the rest of their lives. After Mario and company exploit the system and receive the 1 million rubies, as if Mimi weren't evil enough, she turns into a spider monster that tries to chase you down and kill you. The shapeshifter's true form perfectly reflects just how evil and creepy Mimi can be. Later in the game, she will reattempt to murder the heroes numerous times in hopes of pursuing Count Bleck's goal of destroying the universe. Her cruel, ruthless, and selfish personality, along with her ultimate goal of helping Bleck destroy the universe, make Mimi an easy pick for the third most evil Paper Mario character. The Silver Medal of Evilness is given to the Shadow Queen from Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door. The Shadow Queen seems to be a being of pure evil, as from the moment she is awakened by Grodus, she shrouds the world in darkness. When Grodus tries to command her, believing that the one who awakens her will gain control over her immense power, she instantly obliterates him, leaving only his disembodied head remaining. In her fight with Mario, she eviscerates the entire audience, using their life force to replenish her health. She refers to those around her as slaves, seeing them all as beneath her, and her only goal seems to be to destroy the world as we know it by plunging into eternal darkness and seizing control. Before the events of the 1,000-Year Door, she was a demon queen who enslaved thousands and amassed an army to conquer the world before being temporarily defeated. She's a brutal, powerful, menacing, truly evil character who was only just outclassed in villainy by one character. We finally arrived at the pinnacle of evil in the Paper Mario franchise. Many of you have been expecting and hoping for this choice, and it should come as no surprise that the Gold Medal of Evilness belongs to the dimension-creating, backstabbing, smile-wearing magician, Dimentio. The surprise primary antagonist of Super Paper Mario is about as dark and evil as the series gets. He appears to be one of Count Bleck's loyal henchmen, working to help him destroy all dimensions. Throughout the game, however, it is revealed that he has his own agenda at work, one that is not completely clear until the final chapter. He uses Count Bleck to help orchestrate his own evil plot, and sees all the other characters, both good and bad, as pawns in his game. Some of his actions seem to be helpful to Mario and his team, but as you progress, it's clear that he's just manipulating the characters to do exactly what he needs them to do. He corrupted Fractal and forced him to attack Mario, brainwashed a newly reformed O-Chunks to use him as a weapon to test Mario's strength, attempted to kill Count Bleck after his usefulness to him expired, and ultimately set out to become the ruler of all dimensions by fulfilling both the light and dark Prognosticus. It is rumored by the bartender Carson that Dimentio himself wrote the dark Prognosticus, suggesting this plot may have been in the works for far longer than is directly revealed. Dimentio even temporarily kills Mario, Peach, and Bowser, sending them to the Underwear, a hellish afterlife dimension. In the final battle, Dimentio uses his power, combined with a brainwashed Luigi and the Chaos Heart, to form a seemingly invincible, demonic final form. In his final moments after being defeated, he commits one final act of evil by using his magic to leave behind a shred of his life force, so that the Chaos Heart may be allowed to continue its destruction of all worlds. Simply put, it just really doesn't get any more evil than this icon villain. And despite some tough competition, Dimentio earns the position on our list as the most evil character in the Paper Mario series. Wow! That was a long list, and a long script. If you stuck with us this long, you must have seriously enjoyed this video. So I ask if you're still here, please subscribe to get notified of our future videos, as well as like and share this video around. The more shares this video gets, the more people see it, and it'll really help us out. We also have a Discord that you can check out with over 600 people. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this 5-year anniversary video. This has been Marcelo.
And this has been Taylor
with Game Domain.